2, 1. I'm really hoping that this works. You're not showing up on the stream. Why are you not showing up on the stream? No, I mean on what, on YouTube? Oh, there you are. You just popped up. Oh, hang on. Let me move you. There's 2 Hagar logos for some reason going on here. It's alright. No one will be watching for the first like 5 minutes anyway. It's good. People need to, you know, get sat down and they like to get. Ooh, I'm moving you up. Moving on up. It's getting real. We have 1 viewer, I believe. That's probably you. Is it not? I'm trying to hear it, see whether or not. I don't think we're delayed. No, we're good, man. We're good. On YouTube, it's not delayed at all. Good evening, everybody. We got 4 people in already. How's it going, people? As you can see, I have a beautiful guest this evening. You are beautiful now. Yeah. Please check video resolution. 1920 by 1080p is not enough. Well, I'm not streaming in 1920 by 1080p according to my system. You're all frozen up. Hang on. There we go. How's it going, Azazel? Do you need a beard to get in the club? I don't know, Rob, what do you think? Does Azazel need a beard to be in the club? There you go, there's your answer, I'm afraid, mate. Get growing, get growing. So just wait for a few other people. Hi, Tabitha. I'm very well, thank you. Was that for me or for Rob? This is Rob, everybody. Rob's going to be joining us this evening. We're going to have some a guest speaker. Right, I need to turn my audio off because I'm getting delay here of what's going on. The sound is very low. Bear with me. What about that? Is that any better? That should be a lot crisper. How are we doing? Kieran! Shh, Kieran! What are you doing? You go blowing up things like that in the comment section. You seen what he's put? Kieran! Dude! I'm not even going to mention it because that's just, I can't draw attention to that. We're just gonna glide over that one, I think. Rob, let's just say that he knows about something that's downstairs and has just asked about the progress. Awesome, Jamie. That's cool. Yeah, you should be able to hear me a bit better now. Can you hear Rob all right? Rob, do your ABCs. Yeah. No swearing, Kieran. Thank you very much. Enough of that profanity. Thank you. God, he's been in the chat 2 minutes and he's broken one of the surprises and he's swearing. Cat's out of the bag. Yes. It sounds like it. It does sound like it's out of the bag. Can we just move on before everybody else finds out as well? Well, this video is going to go up, so they're going to see it. I can't delete the comment, can I? I don't. I'm in control, right? Oh, I can delete it. Right, sorry, Kieran, but that's got to go. And I've got to remove the one of you swearing, man. That's not good. I'm trying to get my channel up to a level that is respectful, and I can't have profanity in the comment section. It just will not be allowed. Yeah, MJX. Don't know what you're talking about. MJX has just said the cat's out of the bag then. So I'm like, no. We just move on, right? Yeah, before we do, can people confirm whether or not you can hear Rob? Can you hear my guest speaker okay? Let's just get that before we start having a full-blown conversation about intruders and nobody can hear what you're saying. Let's do that first. For some reason, the stream has frozen. Brilliant. Oh, really? Okay, so people are saying they can't hear you, Rob. You can talk in sign language if you want to talk in sign language. Seriously, so you guys can't hear Rob right now? Say something, dude. We need to get an audio level. Nothing, apparently. Apparently you're not coming through on the airwaves. Yeah, I mean, I can hear you perfectly. And it says that you're coming through. Let me just try this a sec. What about now, ladies and gents? He's checking. He's check 1 2-ing. This is all still new, guys. This is only the second live stream that we've done, but if you can't hear Rob, this will give you a good idea though of where we want to take the channel, right? And I keep looking this way because this is where I've got Rob on my screen. This is where we want to take the channel, where we host certain topics and we have different guest speakers and we just talk intruders, and that's the whole idea of the chat. Dude, I'm sorry. People are saying they can't hear you, man. I wonder why people can't hear you. Right, I'll give it... Let me see... Because I think it looks great, you know, the way it's all set up. But for some reason you're not coming through. Try that. What about now? Does anyone hear him now? Check 1 2. No? Good evening from Finland. Lovely to find your YouTube channel. A few days ago, just a week ago, I bought my first 1400 Intruder. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yes! Technical glitches, I'm sorry. We tested this, I promise you. We've been testing all week. Haven't we, Rob? Exactly. Someone says, I think his volume is low. Yeah, I think you might be right, but I don't think that Rob can control his microphone on his phone, his microphone's input level. I don't think that's possible. I mean, I'm good to carry on with Rob there. If Rob, if you're happy to be there and just, you know, write us a few notes or something, that'd be great. He's got a lot of paper. Are you cool with that, man? I mean, are you sure? I've just realised as well. I've just realised that I've set this whole screen up in a way that looks like I'm actually looking at you, like you're here on the screen. I didn't intentionally do that. It's like, let's go to Rob here. Let's go to Rob. There you go. Touch me. No. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look in the comment section and see if anyone's asked any questions or anything so far. Yeah, apologies, ladies and gents. We will work on this again. I thought we'd had this figured out, and we spoke to a few guys who are interested in getting involved earlier in the week, and I thought that this process was now all ironed out. We've got I'd say we're like 95% there. We've got the video. One glitch, yeah. as opposed to 5. It's true. It's true, man. I didn't even know how to open up the live system in YouTube a week and a half ago. It's completely changed. They've updated it and it looks completely different. But so right, Rob, I'm going to read through some comments. Let's see. Do it. Rob's getting a clean piece of paper so he can answer questions. If anyone's got a question for Rob that he can answer to via paper form, he'll write you a note. He'll do that for you. So, negatory, sir, you're still silent. Yeah, I think we've got that now. I think we're gonna have to check that out for next week. Every problems with the church. Right, Tabitha asks, I got my 98 1400 Intruder 3 weeks ago, my first bike with a choke. Have you ever had any problems with the choke, like how to control it? Rob, any thoughts? Yeah. So, try checking the choke lever in it, the arm on the carburetor on the. So you have you. Exactly. So there's an arm that the choke cable connects to on the carburetor. You can see that in the carburetor video on my channel, and if that slider, that arm doesn't move back and forwards freely, then you won't be able to turn the choke on. And if you can turn it on, it will be really hard to turn it back off. And you'll often, I've had to do it in the past. I know Rob's definitely had to do it in the past, which is reach down under the tank and manually push that arm back to its natural seated position. So give that a try. If it's not moving freely back and forth, that arm, that's where your problem is. Let's see. What else we got? He's saying that it only runs with a choke. Only runs with a choke. Yeah, I was going to say, those carbs need cleaning, my friend. Sounds like you're having insufficient fuel supply to the engine. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it could be, or it could be something as the main jet. Yeah, like you said. Sorry, the main jet could well be clogged. So it'd be worth taking that out and give the carburetors a look over and give them a clean. Tabitha, try that. There is a video on the channel, a Carbs 101 video that you can check out. It's just a very basic, simple, how to get it running again kind of video. Thank you, Rob. This is going to be so weird to watch back because I can hear everything Rob's saying, and then it goes quiet while you're talking, and then I'm just like, thank you, Rob. Yes, Rob. Well said, Rob. So, what did people think? Before we do too many more questions, what did people think of the video that went up on the weekend about rebuilding the engine? I had to splice in some overdubbing that I wasn't too keen on myself. It was, but I had to do it. I spent the majority of the day doing that build video without my microphone on because I just needed to focus on it. So I tried to splice in some microphone work there. Let me know what you think. If you guys are happy for me to do overdubbing stuff, that'd be great because actually it's a lot quicker for me to just set up the camera and roll the camera and do all the work and then overdub over the top. But I'd rather it be up to you guys. If you prefer that, let me know. If you'd rather I did it and continue to talk while I'm doing it, let me know. Let's see. What are you writing, Rob? Rob's writing something. I'll come back to him in a minute. Has anybody got any questions at this point? Oh, what's going on here? I've just had TeamViewer pop up on my computer. I don't know. I need to get rid of it though. Hang on. Okay. So, we've got a couple of people asking some questions. Tabitha says, my pipes are getting so hot. Is that normal? Yeah, absolutely. I'd be worried if they were cold. MJX, Moto blog. I asked this question on the VS1400 forum on Facebook. A temperature gauge for the VS oil filler plug dipstick type. Is it worth getting one? The only time I would consider getting an oil temperature gauge of any kind is if you are doing some serious overjetting of the engine, like some serious like uncorking the engine completely to the point where you need to keep an eye on the temperature of the oil to make sure that 100-mile trip you're taking isn't going to blow out the engine. That's the only. No, no. I've heard different things. Rob says that he's never heard that they're actually that accurate. Anyway, I can't say that I've never heard that myself. I've never really looked into it, but that's the only time that I could see keeping like an actual reading of the oil being needed is like, I've done so much to this engine that the manufacturer definitely didn't want me to do. Yeah, because it's overworking. That's the only time I would do it. Other than that, they're very popular. A lot of the customized, LMC, for example, Epic company in Germany, they do them on pretty much all of their bikes, and it looks great. I haven't got a problem with the way that they look, but I personally wouldn't invest in an oil temperature gauge for the VS1400 at this point. You know, if you're boring out the engine, maybe. Yeah, stock engine, stock jets, stock pipes, stock filters, stock oil cooler, etc. There's just no benefit to it, in my opinion. But if you want it and you like the way it looks, then fine, go for it. Absolutely. Rob says he's in full support. If you like it, go for it. Rob, he likes a lot of stuff that I don't like, but if he likes it, he'll buy it. And I like a lot of stuff that Rob doesn't like, but if I like it, I'll buy it. So there's no right way to do it. It's your bike. You've got to ride it. So do as you please. Jamie says, I'll be watching, but my working time... Oh, okay, yeah. So I think Jamie's saying that he is watching. Azazel's watching, but he's working at the same time. I'm going to say Leponex, not Leponex. 92. Your videos have been awesome, helped a lot because I think I have to repair my clutch maybe some point. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. By all means, go check out the clutch video. That video is getting some stellar response from you guys. It seems to be the fastest. We'll check that in a minute, but I'm pretty sure I said to you last night, didn't I, Rob, that it was like the fastest growing video on the channel was the clutch change video. Oh, Rob has a note, everybody. I'm waiting. What did you... Oh, yes. So we were actually going to... Yes. Good idea. Do you want to show them, Rob, what happens? So I'll narrate this, right? So me and Rob spent some time on the phone earlier in the week, and Rob was changing his clutch, and he'd referred to my video a few times, and I thought I'd give him a ring to see how things are going. And this happened by the time I'd got back to him. There it is. You see how he'd snapped one of those pieces, one of the threads there on the inside of the clutch basket. Now, we don't know if there was already a hairline fracture. Yeah, go for it, man. If you want to pan back down to that, that's fine. And this, he wasn't being aggressive. He's not sure if his torque wrench was working correctly or not, or whether there was already a hairline fracture on that thread, because the bolts and the clutch before he put this new one in, the guy who did it before him had no clue. All the bolts were in the wrong places. There were parts missing. There was a wave washer missing from the back of the clutch basket. So we found a new set of wave washers that is now arrived, and a new clutch basket which is on its way. Should be with you tomorrow, Rob, that new clutch basket. So inspect your clutch basket. before you start talking down on those threads. Really have a good look, and it's always a good practice to under torque your wrench and go up slowly in torque strength with anything like this. Yeah, 7 pounds of torque to start. Go on. I'm just narrating you. Go on. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's one of those where, because Rob didn't know whether he had the problem with the clutch basket to start with or not, he doesn't know if he should blame the clutch basket or his torque wrench, his tools, the bolts, for example, or the previous owner. So it's always a good idea to check that. But we found a good deal though, didn't we? We found a new clutch basket for $30 on eBay, and it should be with you tomorrow. That was a complete set, even with the old clutch plates in it. So I think as well, like I said to you earlier in the week, I think there's going to be 2 new wave washers in there as well. He hopes so. So yeah, clutch stuff, take your time, double check everything, mate. Make sure there's no fractures, otherwise you might end up breaking something like Robbie did over here. But don't be like Bob. That's a good YouTube name. There it is. We've been trying to find a YouTube name for for weeks. There it is. That's what it needs to be. Don't do it like Bob. Is that what I said? Is that what you said? Don't do it like Bob? Don't be like Bob. Right, there you go. So people take note. Don't be like Bob is going to be Bob's YouTube channel name. We're getting that started, hopefully, in the coming weeks. Don't be like Bob. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the comment section. This is really weird to kind of... I know you guys can't hear him, so I'm trying to talk more than what I normally would during this conversation. Yeah. Okay, let me see. We've got Tabitha again asking, is it hard to change the foot pegs to floorboards on the Intruder? No, providing you get the right kind of footboards. If you get the ones that are compatible with the existing foot plate, it is literally a case of a couple of nuts and bolts and you can replace them really quite easy. If you've got third-party aftermarket ones that aren't actually designed for the Intruder foot plate, you might run into some issues. But the Cobra ones, yeah, if you're buying universal cheap ones, then you might run into some trouble. But I've got the Cobra floorboards from 1997. They're just straight swap over from the pegs on the existing footboard, so you should be fine providing you find ones that are actually compatible. MGX, it really isn't that noticeable. Wondering from the practical point of view. Sorry, where are we now? What conversation am I going into here? Read somewhere that the bit. Oh, sorry, we're talking about the oil gauge, weren't we? The temperature gauge. VS sometimes overheat. Take it. That's not really the case on a stock engine. Well, any engine can overheat. Now, there is one thing that I heard before I bought my Intruder, and that was they had a tendency, or have a tendency, if you hold them in 5th gear at 70 mile an hour or more for a long period of time, the engine is known to start like warping. So it is getting really hot. I don't think it was ever designed to do really long haul journeys, really long haul. So if I'm traveling to Scotland, I probably want to take 3 or 4 break. I mean, I'd take 3 or 4 breaks anyway, but you definitely want to give that engine chance to come down in temperature before you go, another 500 miles in a hit on it in 5th gear at 70 mile an hour. Scotland for me, the border of Scotland on the bike on a dry day with good traffic, I could be there in 9 hours. So it's a long ride, really long ride, and this is something that I'm starting to learn from Bob, is that actually what we consider here in the UK to be a long drive or a long ride, it's really not. America's a vast place in comparison to the UK, and when Rob needs to go and buy something, maybe secondhand from Facebook Marketplace, it's like, yeah, it's just like 4 hours down the road. So I'll be there in no time. I'm like, dude, that's half a day for me. You know, it's like that's ridiculous. Like I got to prep for that stuff. I got to work up to it. He's like, no, I'll go in the morning. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, we have to plan things. You know, it's like, Christ, I got to drive to Cornwall next week. That's 2 hours I got to drive in the car. I better have a big lunch and a big dinner the night before. You know, and make sure I'm up super early. It's just mad. Oh yeah, hour and a half there and back, right? Yeah. Yep. No, man. See, no, us Brits. If you anything over 2 hours in the car is considered like a trek. Like it's considered to be a pretty heavy commute. Always. You know, hour to hour and a half is okay. Yeah. 5 hours. That's yeah. 5. Okay, so 5 hours for you is the equivalent for like 2 hours for me, and probably the majority of Brits that I know. It's that it really is that kind of anything over an hour and a half. You kind of go, oh man. But yeah. Oh, Tabitha's asking a question. I bet I can build a nice motorcycle. Just follow all your videos. You make it look so easy, do all the work. I did fix the light indicator, the rear tyre. Got to change the oil cooler radiator ASAP. Thanks. You're welcome. My pleasure. Now just bear in mind that I'm not a professional, okay? I'm not a mechanic. I just follow knowledge that I've gained over the years from people that know more than me, people that are willing to share their knowledge with me, and I've always taken things apart and tried to put them back together. And as I got older, from a kid, it turned into motorcycles. You know, it started off with taking those like clocks that are like the square with the AA battery in the bottom of the square, and it's just literally I used to like just take those things apart just to see the inside, and then I would have to figure out how to put it all back together and get it to work. Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah, taking your elders' tools, it was never a good idea. You had to kind of do whatever you wanted to do and get it back in that toolbox quickly. He steals all yours now. Brilliant. Yep. Dude, I feel so gutted that people can't hear you because this conversation is great and we really need to get this sorted. It will be sorted by next week, 100%. Because, well, absolutely. I tell you what, let's see if we can do a quick poll in the chat, in the comment section. What time is it where you are right now? Put your time, and if you're in the States, put whereabouts you are. UK, not the time zone, just put the time. No, the time zone thing just doesn't seem to work. So if everybody who's watching, I think we've got 10, 11 people watching at the moment, just chuck what time it is right now in the comments section. Let's see where you all are in comparison to me and Rob. Because it's currently 11:30 where I am. And, you know, it's about 5 o'clock where you are? 5, 6 o'clock? Yeah, I don't know. 6:30 where Rob is. He's in Jersey. Is it Jersey or do I have to say New Jersey? Wow, 1:33 a.m. Where's that? That must be... Oh, is that Sweden? Hang on. The gentleman who's commenting... 5:28 Memphis, Tennessee. I'm assuming TN is, Rob? Okay. Norway. Yeah, the people... Yeah, so what do people think about doing these videos at this time? We're trying to find the best time for you guys when to do these live videos because we're spread out across the world. Like there are viewers from every corner at the moment, and it's incredible. But of course, we all come from different time zones. So finding a good middle ground for everybody is proving a challenge. I know 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock British time is great for America because you're typically between 4 and 7 hours behind us across the states. So that's, yeah. So Rob's saying if I were to do this at midnight, it would be great for the people of the States and New Jersey in particular. Yeah, no worries, dude. Rob's got to disappear for a sec. We got a few people. So Memphis, Tennessee. So yeah, you're about the same time as Rob, St. Williams. Eric, Andre, midnight. So you're an hour ahead of me. Let me see. We've got I want to say Stegart. I think that's, or Stegat, Sweden. 12:30 in the morning. Rich, I'm sorry if I'm getting these names wrong, people. I'm gonna say Slanaka. I'm really hoping that's right. I apologise if it's wrong. 6:28 p.m. New Jersey. Same as Rob. Tabitha, you are 6:30 as well. 5:30 Texas from Jamie. MJX, you're running the same time zone as me, brother. You're a minute behind me. Well, I think there's a delay in the video, man. But Rob's just had to pop off screen for a moment. So yeah, I'm just trying to gauge when is best for you guys, because I want to try and do this in a way that when lockdown is lifted, you guys can still be involved after, you've got to go to work. Some of you are still working, and some of you are still working. I plugged my headphones back in now. You disappeared for a moment. Some of you obviously are going to go back to work as the lockdown stuff starts to be lifted. And when that happens, I don't want this to lose any sort of traction. It'd be great if we could find a time that we can start using now, and then see that through every week for the foreseeable future. Disco, hey, it's good to see you, Disco. You were here last week, I remember. A few of you were here last week, actually, to be fair. I wish you could hear Rob, man. It's so weird. When we play this back, it's going to be so strange, because it's just going to be me talking to a floating head. And it's... Anybody to comment right now? Does anybody know why we did To Be Fair in the way that we did? That's Rob's question. If anyone knows why, you got to tell us why. Why did we go To Be Fair? Oh, we got to get this audio. Dude, why can't people hear you, man? This is so frustrating. I was so amped to get this sorted tonight. Yeah. Right, let's come back to the comments quickly. Staggart. Oh, okay, Staggart. No. I was pronouncing it when you were off camera, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, because he's got a, what do you call it? I forget what they're called. The double dot above the A. It's like a eulogum. Is that how you pronounce what it is? It's I don't know how you say it. It's like moving on. Apparently Staggart means the beard. It means the beard in Swedish. So I'm hoping that you are able to live up to the name that you have been given, Staggart. You haven't got a profile picture. I'd like to see this beard. Wouldn't you? Absolutely. And Jamie's going to start growing one. He'll have his grown by the end of next week. Jamie, you better have a beard by this time next week. I'm not even going to repeat that. Thank God you're muted. Oh, man. I could totally dub you in with something in the post production for this video. Like I could totally put some sort of voice on you every time you know, like those was it the meme videos where they take like scenes from Game of Thrones and dub their own voices over the top and stuff like that. I could totally do something like that with you. A whole video of both of us muted. We could. Okay, so, all right, okay, let's do it. What voices should we do? Let's come back to Intruders because we've gone off topic. We're digressing big time, big time. Apologies, ladies and gents. Intruders. Okay, I think I'm going to open it up to you guys. What, for the next 15, 20 minutes, is there anything that you would like us to cover in particular? We've done clutches. We've done oil temperature gauges. Have we done anything else? We've touched on carburetors. We do have a list, and it's in a book that I tidied away last week, and I don't know where it is. I have it. It's somewhere, but it's not on my shelf. I think it's down in the workshop. But we do have a list of topics that we were planning to talk about. But I'd rather actually What do you guys want to talk about? Disappointed. I'm disappointed in your spelling, man. Bubba's in the chat. No, Bubba's in the chat. Hi, Bubba, how are you? Kieran, if you're still watching, Bubba is quite young, and that's why at the beginning I was a little bit strong about, he's 10 years old, so I was a bit strong about, using profanity in the chat section. I'd rather we keep it clean, please. Yeah, it's Rob's offspring, so yeah. What do we got else? What else we got going on? 9 to 10 p.m. UK time, MJX. Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking, but I don't know if it fits the rest of the world quite right. If I'm being honest, I think the best time for everybody else is because like the guys and girls from Sweden, they're like an hour, 2 hours, and like Norway, they're like an hour, 2 hours ahead of me. And then everybody else seems to be behind me by about 6 hours. So it's kind of like, I'm wondering if I'm the one who's got to be doing the stream at 4 a.m. my time. And you guys would get it at like 10 p.m. and everybody outside of the UK on this side of the pond would get it at like 6, 7:30, something like that. It's true. It's true, but I don't know. Maybe we should trial that. What do you guys think? We're still feeling around. We'll figure it out. I think it's one of those things. It's step one, though, like you say, Rob, is fix your audio. Yes. I don't know. Maybe this could be a thing. Maybe I just have you as a guest every week, and you just don't get to say anything. I'm so disappointed. I wish people could hear you right now. Seriously. So, Lipo, have you guys had a problem with the neutral light when I put power on first time? So when I put power on for the first time at the beginning of the day and start the engine, the neutral light is off, but when I drive a little bit, it works fine. Is that normal? Anything before I take this one? Thank you. Yeah, this is good. We need to sort your audio out. It's quite possibly it's probably your neutral light switch sensor, which is located on the left-hand side. If you're sat on the bike, the left-hand side, look along the bottom of the frame, and you'll find like a black square with rounded edges, and there's 4 bolts, like 4 nuts, holding it in place with a couple wires coming off. That could well be the problem. But that sensor works in conjunction with your kill switch, your kickstand kill switch, and your clutch safety switch. So any 3 of those things, if any of them go, because they all sort of share the similar side of the wiring harness, one of them could be playing havoc with the other, which is throwing out wrong information for other things, for your LED light on your switch What am I saying? I'm starting to get tired. What did I say? Oh, hang on. Someone's saying that... Rob, can you be heard? Is that what you just said? So we might have audio. Hang on. You're very low, but you can be heard just. Okay. So, right. Okay. It is good news. Yeah, so it's... Yeah, you are maxed right now. When you talk, your levels actually go higher than mine. Yeah, we could... Are you talking through your Bluetooth? Have you got like a button on the side that you can like... Is there like a press, turn it up? Like... Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Coming back to... Yeah, maybe try talking straight through your phone instead. Did that work? Can anybody hear him now? Say it again. Yeah, your levels are good, man. Your levels are really high. Let me just... Sorry, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. This is be great because if I can get Rob to actually be here... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Have I just found the problem? Hang on.
Can you hear me, Bubba?
No. Here, I have the headset over here.
Okay, check 1 2.
Going to grab a headset.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I'll be right with you. We're just trying to sort Rob's audio out. Apparently, his son, who's watching on a tablet, can hear him really quietly. So if his audio is coming through, we're just going to try and boost that a little bit. So keep an ear out. If you can hear Rob start talking, let me know in the comment section. I'm just going to take this out for a sec. Sorry, where were we? It was... What were we talking about? Oh my god. I'm frozen. Brain's gone frozen. Oh, you can hear him? Rob, apparently they can hear you.
Hello, people of YouTube.
Can you guys hear him? Yes! Rob, we got it!
Yes.
I can hear you. It's like 30 seconds delayed.
Okay,
That's fine.
Put your Bluetooth back on, man.
No, let's keep it off. It's working.
No, I think it was a simple switch on this piece of software. Talk now.
Can anybody hear me?
How's that, ladies and gents? People are saying they can hear you, but it was a little bit muffled, and so that's why I want to put you back on the microphone. I think they're just getting over sound from the background. Yeah, man, people are commenting saying they can hear you. That's awesome. We got it.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay.
have just upgraded my celebrity status.
Your celebrity status. This is a British channel.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's not. This is an international channel, man. Everyone's welcome here, dude.
It's officially become international.
Yeah, everyone's welcome here.
All right, now I can actually
Awesome.
reply to people.
So, ladies and gents, please welcome Rob.
I'm officially involved.
You are officially involved. Although I did enjoy the signs being held up. That was quite cute. I enjoyed
If my shed wasn't a tent, I would chuck my clipboard across there.
it. I tell you what, Rob. Why don't you take the floor for a minute? I feel like I've been talking non-stop. So, do you want to answer some questions? Shall I throw some questions at you and you can maybe answer them?
I can't see any questions.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying if I throw the questions at you, he's a bit slow. If I tomato, as in mater.
That's right. Like tomater without the tuh.
Tomato. He does it so well. Okay, so right, I'm gonna come back up through. Hi, Gianna. I'm gonna go back up.
That's my daughter.
It is your daughter again. Kieran, that's why we don't have profanity in the chat room, okay? There's children watching.
Get the poop.
Absolutely. And I'll be seeing him on Tuesday nights, no doubt, soon. So, yeah, no, he's a good boy. Right, neutral light, that's what we were talking about. Yes, sorry. So, if the neutral light is not working, always start any problem with the simple things, right? So what would be the simplest
always.
thing to check before you mess with the sensors?
Check the light bulb.
Exactly.
Check the connection. I mean, the light bulb's coming on after it gets warmed up. So check the connection to the light bulb. See if it's getting corroded. It's no different than my Jeep, okay? If with my Jeep I have a bad terminal that I am too lazy to replace. So right now, if I go out, a lot of times I'll go out to my Jeep and I'll turn the key and it doesn't want to start. I got to go wiggle the terminal, get back in the Jeep, and it runs. But that'll be the only time it does it all day.
Yeah.
Because once it gets hot and everything's good, everything's, metal swells. So it doesn't do it for the rest of the day. So it could be the same thing. It could be just as simple as the contact to the light bulb is got corrosion of some sort in there, whether it's dust particles, it could be dirt, it could be corrosion, something preventing that perfect contact.
Yeah.
Clean it out. Try it.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I think the trick with electronics is always start simple. Always.
Always.
If a bulb's not working or an indicator bulb isn't flashing or something, check the earths first. Check the ground.
And don't check multiple places, because then you're just going to start chasing ghosts.
Yeah.
Start one, finish from A to B. Don't be like, okay, well, I'm going to take out the light bulb, and then I'm going to unplug it from over here, and I'm going to check everything in between. Because then you don't know which one was actually your problem in the first place. You're just going to start chasing ghosts.
It ends up being like a red herring sort of situation. You don't know where you started and where
Exactly.
you're going to finish.
Exactly.
So,
and then you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to replace all of this because I'm not sure where the problem was, and it's still happening. So I'm just going to replace all of this. And you never actually understood what the issue was in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. So in terms of the neutral light problem, I would recommend doing what Rob said, which is start easy, check the bulb. It might be a faulty connection with the bulb. It really could be that simple.
And it could be the bulb itself. I know it sounds weird, but it could be the bulb itself. I mean, another reference is, sorry, guys. Another reference would be like my uncle's Chevy Avalanche. You first turn on the turn signal, it works fantastic. But once that bulb heats up after it blinks 15 times, it wants to stop blinking.
Yeah.
So it could just be as simple as the bulb.
Absolutely. So always start simple, but failing that, if you've got good connections, you've got good ground, there's no rust that you can see, no bad terminals, etc.
Right.
Then start looking into sensors. Now, I know that those genuine OEM gear switch sensors, they're not cheap. It's really hard to get them.
Not at all.
And it's hard to get them in good condition.
You're going to find them used. They're going to look like junk.
Let me pull up
most of the time, and they're going to be expensive.
Let me see what they are charging for them on Motorcycle Spare Parts EU. I'm going to estimate that for a brand new OEM neutral light switch, €120, I estimate.
And then check eBay just out of curiosity to see what they're going for used.
Sure. Let me see if I can just pull up the electricals here on the wiring harness. Is that the right one? So I got the kill switch, kickstand section there. No, I don't think it's part of that part of the harness, but we'll open that up. Rob, why don't you, while I'm looking at this, why don't you tell us what you've got left to do on your Intruder and where you are going next with it?
Well, I'm still waiting on that clutch basket. That's going to be fun. And then I have to wire up a extra brake light that I'm putting on, that I already put on, wire up the turn signals in the back, turn signals in the front, and 2 bolts on the headlight bucket, and sync the carburetors, and the bike is on the road.
That's awesome, man. As soon as the not the DVLA.
DMV.
Thank you. DVLA is what we have here in the UK.
Yes.
Actually, no, technically it's now the DVSA, I think it is, or something. They've changed it because the British government just like to change things for no reason.
Right. Yep, the DMV. They're talking about it being closed in New Jersey now until the end of July.
Wow, really?
Yes.
So, what realistically then, if you were to be one of the lucky ones and get involved in getting that sorted as soon as they opened, when are we thinking that you'll actually be able to ride?
Well, I still have to wait for them to let me get my license.
Of course, yeah.
So it's. I mean, they just opened up the Harley Davidson dealerships, like all motorcycle dealerships and car dealerships, as of 6 a.m. today.
Okay.
They're allowed to do in-person sales. So I'm hoping that's going to open the door because that's where I'm going to do the motorcycle school to get my license.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that's going to open the door to allow them to finish doing the school. But I'm wondering at this point if it's going to be they don't want to do the school until they know the DMV is open, because once you pass the motorcycle school here, they give you like a waiver to go to the DMV to get your actual endorsement.
Right.
So I don't know how long that waiver is good for, so they might not want to roll the dice on something like that.
Sure.
So now it's just continuing to be a waiting game.
Yeah, and this is something actually that might be interesting for you guys to discuss is Rob doesn't have a motorcycle license, and he's chosen his first... Well, it's not his first motorcycle. He's had motorcycles in the past, but legally speaking, on this sort of sized engine, right, you need to have your full license. And to go straight in with a 1400 when you haven't been on the road for how long on a bike? Or ever? Or
ever
to go straight in with a 1400 VS is pretty ballsy.
It's a hold my beer and watch this moment.
Yeah, and you just want to make sure that person holding the beer doesn't have to continue holding the beer.
Yeah. I'm smarter than that. I've been on a lot of things with power, so to say. I mean, you know, I've ridden quads and dirt bikes, and you know, I've been on stuff with power.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've never been on something with two wheels that weighs 600 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a little bit. Again, this is why I don't want to be a statistic.
No, and,
you know, and I hope everybody can keep that mindset. You know,
be safe.
Yeah, I know everybody wants to be the outlaw. Everybody wants to be the cool kid.
That's a whole other video, that is, man, talking about
that.
That is a whole nother live stream.
It probably is.
Should we do that next week? Do you guys want to have a live stream discussing maybe like pros and cons of clubs and the differences between 1% clubs, 99% clubs, motorcycle groups as opposed to motorcycle clubs, and the differences and the laws within those clubs? I mean, I'm no pro. I've got a little bit of knowledge, but not anything massive.
I just know what I know from like documentaries. You know, I don't know anything really legit, but I mean, I'm sure I could probably chime in with just as many questions as the people watching this right now.
I've got questions as well, and I think that'd be something that maybe we should all sort of chip in and have a conversation about. It'd be interesting to find out if there's any watchers, any viewers, any of you out there, if you're in a club, because actually it'd be great to have a conversation with someone who's in a club and can confirm any sort of maybe myths or questions that the rest of us might have. I mean, I'm not in a club. I'm in a group, and like Rob, it's not a club. We're not allowed to call it a club, and we don't want it to be a club. But we're a group of charity riders. We raise money for charity. We all go out together.
I think that stuff is cool. I think that's better than a club, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, each to their own, but it's,
That's why I said my opinion. Subjectively, I think that's better than a club.
I think the difference between clubs and groups is that typically if you join a motorcycle club, and I don't want to get too far into this right now,
well, this can get really far really quick. This could
go really deep really quick. Is I think you typically, it's not like a banker, someone who's been in the banking business for 30 years, wakes up at the age of 47 and goes, I'm going to buy a Harley and I'm going to join a 1% club. It just doesn't happen.
I don't think so at all.
Decide to become a biker like that. It doesn't. It's not like changing jobs. It's part of your culture. It's part of who you are.
Yeah, I think it's something that you got. I mean, again, my opinion. I think it's something you have to be raised around, like something that you got into at a very young age. Like, you were 18 or 15, 16, 17 years old, riding your dirt bikes around. All of a sudden, you want a street bike. You get hooked up with the guys that are in clubs. The next thing you know, you're in a club. Not going to mention any club names, but
no.
next thing you know, you're in a club.
I mean, the group that I'm in, the charity, and it is an official registered UK charity. It is recognised as one of the greatest in our area for raising funds for our armed forces, our veterans.
Yeah, that stuff is cool.
And we as an organisation, as a charity group, we have to have a common ground relationship and understanding with the surrounding clubs, because it's very important that they know that we're trustworthy.
That there is a line.
There is a line.
There is a line.
We don't want to be on their side of the line, and we don't want to impeach on them in any way. And I can't say too much more than that, but it's kind of that there's an understanding. We have a parlay, so to speak. We're allowed to ride.
There is ground rules.
There's ground rules, and we abide by them.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah. There's ground rules, and I wouldn't call them laws, because that's more of a club thing to call them laws. But I would say it's more of a ground rule thing, like and a respect thing. You guys have ways that things are supposed to be done.
Yes.
To keep the respect to the group of guys that you guys have, and to how you do things. Yeah. It's more of a respect thing rather than this is a law. This is a law in the club. Don't do that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we're fortunate that I've spoken very little to actual club members when we're out or when we're at meetups or events, etc. But there are members of our group that have even walked that life in another life. So it's made up of people of all different backgrounds, and a lot of them are veterans themselves, and they want to give back. But when you're a motorcycle group, if you are thinking about joining a motorcycle group or starting your own club, you really got to make sure that you have got the right people that you need to talk to before you start waving flags and putting patches on your backs. You really got to be careful.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on, because I feel like
let's get some more intruder questions.
Yeah. Let's see if anyone's made any comments there. Got neutral light was the last thing. Rob, you've got a comment from Rich. I want to say Slanaka. I'm sorry, Rich, if that's incorrect. He says, Rob, I'm in the South Jersey Cape May courthouse.
Oh, cool.
Where are you in Jersey?
It's about 45 minutes from me.
About 45 minutes. Minutes. Tabitha asks, anywhere is close. I just got to get my new tags. But they have, like outside kiosk, and only charge $35 for tags and $40 for the title. Driver's license, is different then. Yeah, I think things work differently depending on what country you're in, and the legalities of gaining a license. And what
even the states, even the states here, like different states here in America is different.
Yeah. So what else have we got? Eric Andre says Restless Vikings MC. Are you a member of that, sir?
That sounds pretty cool.
It does. It'd be great, and this is exactly why I want to do.
That probably has a sick jacket.
Most likely, most of them do.
I mean, that thing probably looks great.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the kind of I'd love to get. Like, this is exactly what I want this live stream to be. We've got people from all different walks who are all riding Intruders, who can all talk about different things. And if we've got some club members here that are happy to not necessarily be put on camera, but I mean, if they want to be, they can be. But obviously, I understand if not. But if they're willing to lend their voice on a live stream, if you want to get involved, feel free to comment. It'd be great to talk to you and learn more. What do you think, Rob?
I completely agree. The more the merrier.
Absolutely. Tabitha says, my uncle is from Houston, Texas. He was a Hell's Angel like 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he says, yes, we can do next week. So, cool. So Tabitha's in. If we want to do a more club sort of talk, we do want to try and keep them Intruder related. But I think maybe if we had a segment in our section in the live stream that was like, for the next 20 minutes we're going to talk about clubs, and share opinions. I think that would work.
I agree. That's super cool.
That's actually Staggett's just said, we have intruders. We're not welcome in clubs.
We are welcome in organizations.
Yeah. He says, here in Sweden, Harley Davidson is the only acceptable brand. Yeah, and that's the same for a lot of them.
It's pretty much everywhere like that when it comes to clubs.
And it kind of stems from the heritage of it. The first motorcycle clubs were made up of veterans that had come home from the war. They'd ridden Harley Davidson motorcycles in the war, and that was what they had to hand. And that was like the heritage part of a motorcycle club was veterans who missed being in the war, missed the brotherhood, felt alone, and that's how it all started. And they just happened to have Harley Davidsons, so it stuck. Yeah. That's what my knowledge of it is. Anyway, I think that's right.
We're gonna save all of this motorcycle club talk.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna waste all of it on this one.
We are.
We need to have a motorcycle club segment, like you said.
Agreed. If you want to have a motorcycle club section in next week's Intruder Talk, just type yes or the letter Y in the comments section. That's all you got to do.
There you go.
And then that gives us a gauge of how many of you are interested in talking about that.
Yeah.
Let's see
what
else
set something up in the future.
Absolutely. Let's see. Eric says, yes, we're 7 good friends who started this club 7 years ago. Fantastic. So Restless Vikings is an MC that Eric and his friends started 11 years ago. There's 7 members of them. That's
super cool.
If it's all right with you, Eric, I'm going to jot your name down, and if you do fancy being part of the chat next week, we'll contact and we'll set something up. Where are you from, Eric? What's your time? What time is it right now? MJX says typical Harley Davidson snobbery. Yeah, well, we right, okay, but this is where it's like
this is it. It's the last one.
No, I was actually going to say, I think all of us, to a degree, would love to own a Harley Davidson.
Oh, absolutely.
I
mean, absolutely. I mean, I can probably name 5 Harleys that I would buy today if I had the money.
Yeah, you came close to buying one last year.
It's close. I'm glad I didn't.
Now look at your Trudy. Trudy's looking good.
Now we got a little quick
come and show us
preview of what's going on there. Then we still got something over here.
So let me blow you up on the screen a little bit so you can show people a little bit better. Just give me a sec. Let me
all right.
Let me pull you up.
Don't make me get up.
Yeah, let me see. You guys should be able to see Rob a bit better now.
I don't want to see myself that big.
And if I move over a bit, we've almost got a split screen going on now. Yes.
This tent shed is a mess, so I need to step back.
It's awesome, man. I was so proud.
This is what I got going on.
Thing running, mate. It was such a good.
Oh, I know. So, got a little bit of everything going on right now with this. Just give you a little. This is what I need to wire up. My little nifty tail light.
Yeah.
So.
It looks so good, man. And I just love the fact that it was not running and now it's running, and that's awesome. Such a good feeling.
And this is going to be future material.
Oh, I wonder if we could do a. Right, we'll save it for another video.
That's all you guys get to see. That's all you guys get.
We'll save it for another video. Apparently your audio, Rob, is incredibly loud compared to mine, so I'm gonna pull you down ever so slightly. Let's see. Say something for me, Rob. Let's see if that audio is better now. Check. You should be about the same level as me now. You were actually almost 20% louder than me for some reason. I don't know why I did that.
Man, I should have started screaming at
everybody. Rodrigo, good to hear from you, buddy. He says, "Are we starting a gang? Are you game? Game if we are?" No, we're not.
Now I done lost my vape.
We're not starting a gang. Intruder is very underestimated It really is very underestimated, St. Williams. I have a friend. Some of you met him last week. He popped into the chat for a little bit. He might even be in tonight. I don't know. But he rides a beautiful 48 Harley. And I'm incredibly jealous. I love that bike. When he turned up on it for the first time I met him, it was like, I was like, oh, thanks for bringing my bike. it was that's exactly the bike that I would want from a Harley Davidson. And we agreed at some point we would be having a drag race.
Oh boy!
And
kids will be kids.
And I've said to him, I was like, don't underestimate it just because it looks like something that's crawled out of the 90s, because they are known, they are called the Harley Killer, and it's because they're off the line. Is typically, I mean, granted, his 48 is like.
I feel like I should be looking this way.
Yeah, it's only you're on a monitor over here, and it just works well for me. Yeah, but. Kids will be kids. So I was thinking maybe we could do a moto vlog of some sort if I do a drag race with Slider and
that would be awesome.
And really put this argument to rest as to whether or not the VS1400 is in fact a Harley Killer or not.
You're a YouTuber now, man. Everything's on film. Everything's recorded.
Regardless of the outcome, right? If he smokes me, I'm still going to post it.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. It might just take like 6 years.
And now you talked about it on a live feed. You don't have an option.
No, I don't have an option. I don't. But would people want to see a drag race between a 48 and a VS1400? Do you think they'd want to see that?
I do.
I think they would. It really looks like I'm looking over my shoulder at you.
I know. I feel like you're like whispering sweet nothings into my ear right now as I'm staring at the camera.
Let me pull this around here a little bit, and I can step away from you a minute. I'm kind of feel like you're in my space. Right, let's come back to the comments. Tabitha, I go to Walmart almost every 2 days, and always at least 2 or 3 people stop and talk, tell me how nice and good my Intruder looks. That's awesome, man. Rich is saying it looks nice. I think he's talking about your bike, good sir.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If that's the case, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming along.
It is. It really is. Jamie says, thank you. No problem. I think Jamie's referring to your audio. I think that's better now for people.
Oh, good.
We're still learning, man. We're getting there. I think we're there now. I think this is...
Yeah.
We're
gonna get some more practice in before the next time that we do this. That way we can really figure out what's going on.
You guys don't need to know the details, but there's been some stuff going on this week that I've had to give precedence to over everything else, and kind of we were hoping to spend more time practicing this and the setup and stuff, but something pretty serious came up, so had to take care of that. Rich, that is a really good idea. Rich says the drag race should be for charity.
Yes.
If we do that, that could be a really good idea. Actually, we could do like a what do they call it? Like not a Kickstarter. You know, when a group of people organise something, or someone does something, and you set up like a GoFundMe page. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A GoFundMe sort of thing. I wonder if we could do that.
That's an idea. We'll think forward on that.
Absolutely, and I think unless anybody has right now got more Intruder specific questions for tonight, we might wrap it up. Is there anything you want to add, Rob? Anything you want to? So anything you've discovered since during building your bike? Is there anything that people might need to know about?
I think everything's pretty much covered. I mean, I can't think of any really weird stuff I ran into besides the clutch basket. I mean, you know,
your float bowl sticking.
Oh yes, that's a good one. That's a very good one.
We had some fun filling that engine with fuel, didn't we?
Yes, I rebuilt the carburetors and feeling like $1 million. I was like, yes, I'm dark. Oop.
Yep, you back.
Okay, it was like 8 o'clock at night. I finally get this thing started. I was just feeling so good. and then all of a sudden it's just running like garbage. And I couldn't figure out. So finally I'm hitting the start button, and I'm getting nothing. Like, it sounded like the motor wanted to turn.
Yeah.
But it ended up being that, for whatever reason may have been, I guess the didn't completely seal. It didn't seat the right way, and it just flooded the front cylinder with fuel, literally all the way to the spark plug. It completely hydro-locked the front cylinder with fuel.
I remember, man.
And
It was a fun night.
Video. That's something I wish I had on video for sure.
Interesting.
Turn the motor. Yeah. Pull the spark plugs, turn the motor, watch fuel just shooting out everywhere. Take the carburetors off, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what is wrong? What is wrong? Put everything back together, never had a problem.
Yeah, and I think, again, it was that whole... you did everything right, but something can always go wrong. And it's a case
That's exactly what it is.
Check again, and check again. And that little technique that I told you about with checking the float.
Yeah. Yep, with the blowing the air in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really works, you know.
It does. It really does work.
We could do a little video on that, because my carbs
you
are
definitely should.
out of the bike.
Your carbs are out. Yep.
So we could give that a go. I've just had an error thrown up by YouTube saying that some people might be experiencing buffering issues right now for some reason.
Yeah, I had some lag issues going on
over
the last couple minutes. Yeah. And I just hit 5% battery.
Well, why don't we wrap it up then, guys? Let me give you a quick rundown through the comments just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Hey, what's everybody riding? Mine's a 97. Rob, what's yours?
99.
99. Put your dates down, people. Some of them already have. People have put Rodrigo's riding a 2005 S83, and Staggart is riding a 94. Disco is riding a 2007 S83. I'm assuming that's a 1400 S83.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that. I don't know if they did an S83 with like that model number with a smaller engine, did they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Tabitha 98 VS1400. Rich is riding a 2000 VS800. Nice bike. I was actually looking at an 800 today on eBay.
Leave it alone. Not yet. Let's wait for the
Yelmler.
bag. Wait for the cat that's in the bag, as going back to the beginning of this video.
Yeah, no, that's totally yeah. Thanks, Kieran. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Been keeping that quiet for like 2 months now, and he's just like first comment of the chat. It was just like,
hey, of course,
man. What else have we got? We've got the Rodrigo asks. Rodrigo says the weirdest thing he's ever had to do on his VS1400 is having to bleed the clutch from the bottom up. It's a very, very popular process, back bleeding the clutch.
That's what I'm hearing. I have yet to experience it.
Yeah. There will be a video, ladies and gents, when the time is right. A lot of people are asking for it.
Yes.
But I can't do it if I'm not at that stage on the bike yet. You know, and we're not quite there
I
yet.
see why we have lag issues. Hold on 1 second.
Rob, you're not on Wi-Fi, are you?
Went through, it might have been coming from me. I'm too far away from Wi-Fi.
You were on Wi-Fi?
I was on Wi-Fi.
Never mind. We're learning.
That's it. I had 1 bar of Wi-Fi signal. That's probably why you couldn't hear me either.
Oh, it could be why. That
yep.
and
now I'm probably screaming at everybody. Hello.
Your mixer, your audio thing. While you were coming through, I'd actually had you muted. But you don't see that right in front of you. You have to click on settings and click on anyway.
You're killing me.
Love you,
Computer
dude. Ken is riding a 2002 1400. He asks, "Are the carbs as scary to clean as they look?" Dude, go check out the video, dude. Rob actually did it recently.
Yeah. It's 10 times easier than what you would think. Honestly, I was worried, man. I was worried. He could tell you I was worried about taking
big
these things
time.
apart.
Big time.
And honestly, I've had the carbs out of this bike 3 times now and apart 3 times, and I can do it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Once you've done it twice.
Once you've done it once,
Well,
it's
yeah.
cake.
Yeah. It's like,
You know,
that goes there.
I
That
mean,
goes there, that
honestly,
goes there.
and it's dang near idiot proof.
Yeah, it's just a case of forward thinking, and if you've got written documentation on how to take it apart and visual documentation to take it apart,
That's it.
You're safe. You're safe.
Watch the video.
Yeah.
Watch
definitely.
the diaphragm spring.
Yes. Yes. I've got 2 carb
that
videos.
thing will put a ring on your forehead if you're not careful.
Yep. There's 2 carb videos at the moment on the channel. One to remove them and one to do a basic strip down and rebuild, just to get things going. Both will help. If there's any questions, leave a comment on those videos and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Or one of the community will, Rob will, or somebody will get back to you. What else we got? We got Robin Futureless is running a 1996. Tabitha's now asking, is it cold or hot in the UK? Why you shave your head? Because I'm in lockdown and my barber... Oh, I think Rob... I've lost him. I think he's run out of battery. Hang on a sec. Let me get rid of that that window capture. How do I get rid of it? Sorry, ladies and gents. I'm still learning here. Let's shrink it right down. There we go. I can talk directly to you guys for the remaining few minutes. Rob, I'm sorry that the audio thing wasn't working at the beginning, guys, but that will give you a really good idea of where I want these live chats to go. Rob and I spend a lot of time talking to each other, going over things in regarding the bikes and what parts we're both buying, what we're working on and stuff. I really wanted to get his input this week. I think it's good for you guys to have a second voice so you can ask questions to. There is something in the works. If you're not a member of the main Facebook group that I'm a member of, it's the VS1400 forum on Facebook. I tell you what, let me find the link and I will post it for you right now. So if you're not a member, you can go and request to become a member. Really, really great group. And if you've got questions, there's already answers in the files section. There's a manual section. If you need the workshop manual, you can actually go and download it for free. So yeah, it's really cool. Let me just post this link here. If you guys want to be a part of the community that I'm a part of, and Craig, the guy who runs the group, really supported me massively when I started doing these videos, and he allowed me to post them into the group. Excellent group. So just if you want somewhere else to talk Intruders, that's the place to go. Let me see what else we've got going on here. Last couple of questions. What have we got? It's cold and hot. Why have I shaved? Sorry, that was what I was saying. Why have I shaved my head? I haven't. The missus did. The reason being is that it is quite warm here actually at the moment. It's like, I think it was like 27 degrees Celsius today. So it's quite warm for this time of year, but all the barber shops are closed. So I can't go and get a haircut by my regular barber. So the missus, she just trimmed a bit off the side, so I was starting to get wider and wider and wider on the sides. But I like it. I think it looks alright. It does the job, doesn't it? It's hair at the end of the day. We got a 96. Oh, I've been there from Robin. What we got? Kent says it's encouraging. Yes. Same yesterday. Back feeder to the clutch front brake. Today my front brake had lost pressure again. Might need to change brake pads. Yeah, possibly. Always a good idea. Whenever you're working on brakes, they're so cheap to buy new pads. You always run the risk of getting brake fluid onto the actual discs, as the pads themselves. If I'm working with the oil on the brake calipers, then I'll just go and buy 15-16 quid's worth of brake pads. It's definitely worth it. Lipo rides a 93, lovely jubbly. Kent says, I came in to check those vids but saw that you were live. Good to see you, Kent. Thanks for joining in. We're doing this this Intruder talk every Wednesday at the moment at 11 p.m. GMT. That's British time, so whatever time it is where you are right now. We've been going for about an hour and a half. So, yeah, we start at that time every week. What else we got? Tabitha's saying, please check my video. Kate, if I've got the time, mate, I will. Let me see. We've got Rodrigo. Once with the service manual, every time after that it gets shorter and shorter. Yeah, absolutely. Rodrigo, don't ask your 16-year-old nephew to help because he will drop the tank and you will cry. Did that actually happen? Did you actually have an accident with your tank? That doesn't sound like something I would want to be paying for. Those tanks are expensive, especially if you get a new one. I think the cheapest I've found a high quality second hand tank for is around £400 British pounds, so they're not cheap. They're really not cheap. What do we got? Tabitha, okay, good man, no problem. And I really Skagit, yeah, I think that's how I'm supposed to be pronouncing it. Feel like you need a third voice, hit me up. Absolutely, I will. I can hear voices in my headphones.
I'm back.
Rob, you back?
I'm back.
What happened? Hang on, wait. Rob's just magically...
My phone died.
I thought your phone had died. How did you come back into the chat? You haven't called me.
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Going call and I clicked on it.
Wait a minute. So our call's still going? Where are you? There you are. You're over there. Hang on.
Yeah. Wait.
Wait. Rob's
Am I back?
I was just trying to wrap things up, but seeing as you're back, let's get you involved here. Here he is. He's down there. Look, he's down in the corner. There he is. Look.
There I am. Yeah, I don't know. I turned on my phone.
Yep.
And it said ongoing call, so I clicked on it, and now I'm here. So let's wrap this thing up and call it. It's been fantastic. Yeah. Freaking Pete.
Yeah, I was talking then and nothing was coming through. See, I'm still learning. Rob is back, ladies and gents. Yeah, so we're going to wrap this up. Apologies for the delay in getting Rob's audio to work. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again next week. We kind of know what to look for now with whether or not the audio is actually working. Yeah, people spotted you in the little window down in the bottom of the screen. Just you tiny.
Oh, did they?
It's like this, like a bit of, like there he is. Look.
Oh, all of a sudden I was back out of nowhere.
Absolutely, but thanks Rob for joining, man. It's been good fun, and look, you guys next week 11 p.m. I think Rob, if you're interested and you're available next week. We'll come up with another topic around the Intruder, and there'll be a new rebuild video this Sunday as always. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I should tell people what it's going to be?
Hold on, wait. I had lag issue. So I reckon you should what?
Tell people what the video on Sunday might be about?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm not allowed to tell you.
You as subscribers, tune in.
You heard it from him, man. Well, look, thanks, guys. If there's anyone watching that's not subscribed, and please consider it. It'd be great to have you on board. We're on track to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next 3 weeks, which is insane.
Once he gives me some more freedom, I'll make it fun. Don't worry, guys.
Whoa! Dude, did you want one of these or not? Did you want one of these?
I do.
Yeah, I'm not showing people though. They just got a quick flash.
Yeah, but, that's all I get.
But yeah, man. Okay, guys. Look, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks, Rob. We'll catch you guys.
Sorry about my technical issue with my phone dying.
Nah,
I will bring a charger to the tent shed next time.
It happens. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, right. Take care, guys. You ride safe out there and be vigilant. If there's rules in place still, abide by them.
Yeah.
I'd rather be locked up for the next 3 months and be able to ride for the rest of my life. So, you know,
Exactly.
be sensible, don't be a hero, and we'll catch you next week, man. Take it easy.
Yes.
We're going, I think. Stop stream. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. I think that's